So Nick, the next step I suggest is we come up with a storyboard for Manny's story.
Well, okay, but what is a storyboard?
Storyboarding is a process of visualizing what you want your video to look like. So it's kind of like creating a blueprint of your video resume, mapping out scene by scene what you want to show to illustrate and complement the things you're saying in your story.
So it's like having a good novel and making it into a good movie?
Exactly.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work to do, and I still need your help.
You're right, it is a little bit of work to do, but it's kind of fun to do. So how we do this is we're going to take Manny's story and we're going to chunk it out into different pieces, and together we'll brainstorm what images or visual content we can include to illustrate and complement the things he's saying. What do you think?
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And if you need help drawing, I can definitely do it.
Yeah, we can. If you can draw, that'd be great. I think that'll help Manny really visualize what we have discussed. But if you don't know how to draw, that's okay too, because you can always even just draw stick figures or just chunk out text of what you want to include when and where.
Okay, let's try it.
All right, so I think what we should do is probably draw it out. So let's grab some paper here and start mapping it out. So I'm thinking that the first thing that we should do is his title. So that should probably be the first scene. Okay. So when you hear the title, 7 Reasons Why You Should Hire Me as Your Sales Rep, what images come to your mind?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is his smiling and welcoming face.
Okay.
Specifically, sportswear store, I think we need a store as a background.
A store as a background. That's a good idea. So we have the background image and stuff, but what about the title?
Oh, well, the title has to be big and clear. Definitely.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about adding some animations to his title to make it more fun.
That'd be really cool. Any ideas of what kind of animations?
What we can do is let the words reasons to hire me as your sales rep come out first.
Okay.
Let the number 7 somersault into place.
Okay, so let me write that down. But as I'm writing this down, that sounds a little bit complicated. How is Manny going to do that?
Well, it is not that hard to do with PowerPoint.
With PowerPoint, really? Okay, so that's cool. All right, so I guess you'll have to show Manny how to do that, okay? Because I don't really know. Okay, now let's move on to the next scene, which should be the first thing he talks about, which is his experience as a roofer. So what do you think we should include in the scene?
Well, we definitely need pictures of him on the construction site.
Okay.
But if we don't have any, we can always look online for stock images.
That's true. Let me just write this down, construction site. So another cool tool you can use is Flickr. There's a lot of free images that you can use there.
Well, there is also Creative Commons that you can use to find great images.
Fantastic. So we'll just have to search those up later. Let's make a note of that. The best, of course, is using your own pictures.
Well, certainly. Well, other than those images, what else can we insert?
Well, looking at Manny's story here, he does use the word resilience. Why don't we come up with some clip art images that we can incorporate into his video resume?
Well, I do have an idea. Since Manny's going to talk about his 7 reasons, why don't we just create a checklist with 7 boxes to be ticked one by one as he speaks?
That's a fantastic idea, because I know later on in Manny's story, he does talk about ticking off boxes. So that really matches the narrative. But the problem is that sounds a little bit complicated. How is Manny going to do that?
Well, no worries. It can be done with PowerPoint as well, and I will be willing to teach him.
PowerPoint again. You're no wonder they call you a whiz in PowerPoint. Okay, so the idea here is that as Manny explains each reason why someone should hire him, we're going to tick off boxes, and each time the list is going to keep growing and growing, right?
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay, great. So let me just write this down so we don't forget. Well, Nick, this has been a truly productive session. I hope Manny's happy with the storyboard we came up for him.
I hope so too. This session has really helped the preparation and the filming a lot more easier.
Yeah, it's true. When you come up with a storyboard, it really does help you plan everything out, and it'll make it a lot easier when you come to videotape him. Now, just a reminder that if you're the one who's going to be videotaping him, to make sure you choose a variety of different images. Like, don't just do voiceovers, because that's not going to be effective.
Sure, I may get to film him at the construction site and let him talk about his stories just to enrich the images.
That's a great idea. You're right, because if you just want to do it like behind a white screen in a studio setting, that's going to be kind of boring. So it's good to do it in sort of natural settings, because that'll really illustrate the story that Manny is sharing.
And also, I think that we need a good background music to make sure the video resume stands out.
That's a really good point. I almost forgot to bring that up. So remember to check out the Creative Commons. There's a lot of really good free music that you can use.
Cool, and we will do that as well. Thank you so much for today, and I've learned a lot about storyboarding, and I'll definitely do one video resume for myself.
It's been a lot of fun, and that'd be great if you could do a storyboard for your own video resume. Hi everyone, I hope by watching this video, you have learned how to use storyboarding to visualize your story. Check out the storyboarding of Manny's video resume below this video. By comparing the story we posted in the previous session, I believe you will get a good sense of how to prepare yours.